guys, thanks for tuning in today. Looks like today I'm ready to head out along the road and to see how this booster plug and the sports exhaust goes. Got two cameras here mounted on it, on the bike, so that's sort of all good. It's only early in the morning but still pretty warm here in Australia at the moment. Predicted to be 38 today, so I think I'll get on it, get out, give it a quick run, see how it performs, and we'll report and see overall do I notice much difference on the bike at all or not. Okay, we've got both cameras running and we'll kick her over. One of them might have a bit of vibration in it, so maybe the one on the tank, so something will capture a bit of image. We'll see how it performs, more so out along the road and around town, because it doesn't matter much here. I do 90% of my riding, 95% of my riding out along the road. They've got a caravan they're looking at over here. This person's been trying to sell his caravan and four-wheel drive over there for, I don't know, 6 months. It's got a nice burble, this exhaust, you know, for I'm surprised not many people have looked at the video on the exhaust, because there's another one on the tube which has had well over 100,000 views. Same exhaust. That one was fitted by a dealer, and that's a $500 exhaust. Where I showed the guys that looked at this one what they could buy for 160 for the same thing. I'm surprised that a lot of people haven't jumped into this one to check her out, but must be a lot of people with plenty of money and don't care. Wow, here the pickup's good. Let's give it to it. Whoa! Wow! Gee, that's quick! Look at that, well over 100 already. Yeah, that was quick to 100. And on the cruise there now. Now I'm just running along at 100 k's, no trouble whatsoever. Wow! Tell you what, this really isn't a bad bike. So we are running only that sports muffler and the booster plug. So with a bit of outlay, I don't know, I think the booster plug cost somewhere around 240 Australian dollars. The exhaust costs 160. That's 400 bucks. This is a good test coming up ahead. It's a very steep hill, it's very misleading. It's a very misleading hill. And I'll just hold it in 6th gear, see how it pulls this hill. It's a lot steeper than what you think. The C5 struggles on this hill in 5th. So this one we're going up now. So we'll see how this handles this. And I won't labour the motor either, I'll just see how it runs this hill. This is just holding the throttle at one speed too, not applying more throttle, or you'd hear the different note in the exhaust. But you can tell now. Look at that, this bike pulling this hill. Pulling this hill at 80 kilometres an hour, fixed throttle, 6 gear. Not bad. Hey guys, I'm back from the ride, and so an overall opinion or summary of the bike. I think overall it went pretty well considering the temperature I took it out on. I think it was roughly around a bit over 30 odd degrees. The exhaust system and the booster plug I think worked very well together. The exhaust itself is, you know, there's no denying it's a little bit on the loud side. Whether or not you'd want to keep it on the bike is very hard to say, but there's no doubt it belts out a nice note. It was a bit of a risky ride out there to start with because I haven't got the bracket attached to the rear part of the muffler. That could have been a risky move if one of them fell off, so lucky. I just checked now and they're all still nice and secure. The booster plug itself I'd say was 100% positive move and well worth buying. I didn't experience any problems whatsoever with popping or backfiring or anything what is normally associated with when you put on a sports exhaust, and that is a pretty open little sports exhaust, so we're not talking about a big open sports exhaust. That's a really compact little, I don't know, I think it's only, what was it, around 14 inches, something like that, very small exhaust on it. And all they did was repack the baffling of it, so if I wouldn't have done that, it would have been extremely noisy on that side, so that mellowed it down a bit. But apart from that, well, you know, the bike ran really well out there and it had good power. You might have noticed on back on the video where I accelerated down there, I really didn't, you know, I haven't got the habit of thrashing bikes where people get in there and hit that throttle and wind, crank it right around the lock in first, second and third gear. I'm always more of a person who just rolls throttle response on, and you could see I was fairly impressed by the way the bike picked up in that second and third gear. You know, it sort of impressed me, and I'm the rider of the bike so I know roughly how it performs. And then further on, when I got up onto that hill and decided to do a 6 gear pull on that hill, well, I know what it's like to go up in this bike, and I know what it's like to go on the other 10 bikes I've had this year going up that same hill. And I can say now that it pulled that hill then better than any other bike so far this year in that top gear pull. So there's no doubt it is performing well in all areas. So I'm pretty impressed overall how things went, and I did a bit of a slight mistake on the price of that booster plug. In Australian dollars it actually cost me $270, not $240. So it's $270 for the plug, $160 for the exhaust itself, which brought it back to $430, and then you could say $10 worth of packing, so $440 was the total cost of the whole exercise, plus I bought the DNA filter. So and take into account too, like I was also very impressed with the way this bike performs just with the exhaust and the virtually a fueling system on it. I haven't even put the sports air cleaner on it yet, which, you know, will give it better breathing still, and I'm pretty sure when that's happened it'll probably even perform better. So I'm only under part 2 of the mod, you could say, and I've got the other part to go. So overall it's been a very interesting day as far as that goes, and most people, if anyone got on this bike and rode it now, they'd be very impressed with how it performs and probably think I've got the sports air cleaner and everything on it. But in actual fact I've still just got the factory one in there, just breathing that little bit of air through that little snorkel hole. So when you get to the stage where you put the DNA on it and open up the front part of the box, you know, could be a totally different beast again. But overall I think the acceleration's good, no popping carrying on like that, nothing to complain about, very well behaved bike to ride, so overall very happy with today's run. Anyway, thanks for watching the view.